you doing? You guys rest. Sit down. You've been here all day. You should feel at home by now. Wasn't that great? Alan, oh, beauty. I thought he was going to call the president the beast. I was going to laugh at that, but that was pretty cool. Beauty and the Chief. That was, I don't know about you guys, but I was listening backstage, and I just wanted to put my ball gown on and twirl and twirl. I mean, yeah, I see people in the back. That's beautiful scores, beautiful music. Great way to start off this workshop or this panel discussion. I want to welcome you to the White House. Have you been having fun? Oh, I can tell. I can tell. I want to start by thanking Harvey Weinstein for organizing this amazing day. Harvey. This is possible because of Harvey. He is a wonderful human being, a good friend, and just a powerhouse. And the fact that he and his team took the time to make this happen for all of you should say something not about me or about this place, but about you. All right, everybody, we are here because of you. Whoopi Goldberg, Naomi Harris, Ryan Coogler, David Frankel, Blake Lively, all of us are here because of you. And of course, my dear friend Gail King is here. We are here because of you. So let's welcome everybody here. I also want to thank all of the directors and the actors, all the specialists who generously shared their time and talent this morning. You guys did an amazing job. I got to sit in on a few things and see what was going on today. It was pretty amazing. But as I say, yes, big hands to all the team for making this possible. But most importantly, I want to thank our young people. I want to thank you guys for, yes, give yourselves a hand. We have students here from film and visual arts programs in Boston, in Brooklyn, and right here in Washington, D.C. And I'm thrilled to have all of you here for our first ever Careers in Film Symposium. We never did this before. This is the first time that we have brought young people into the White House for an event like this. And we have had students here for workshops on all sorts of things. We've done everything from classical music to spoken word to poetry. And just a few days ago, we were doing some Bollywood dancing in the state dining room. And today, we wanted to continue this tradition by giving you all the chance to dive into the world of filmmaking. And from what I heard and what I saw for myself, I see you guys dove in pretty deeply on this subject. You learned about directing and improvising. You saw how a blank screen can create a whole new world. You discovered how music and sound effects can add emotion to any scene. And you even had a chance to design a wardrobe and apply makeup, just like they do in Hollywood. And just so that the press understands, you maybe see some of our staff people with big gashes and cuts on their heads. It's just Hollywood happening here. Many of the students did that work, and I was prepared. People told me there are people walking around with scabs on their faces, and then I saw Jeremy, my head of the social office, and I was shocked that his nose was cut up. This stuff is pretty good, very realistic. So you all have had a chance to learn the nuts and bolts of the movie business from some of the Hollywood's most respected leaders. But here's the thing. These folks know that it doesn't just take technical knowledge to succeed in the movie business. And that's one of the important points we want you all to take away. It's not just about being a good actor or knowing how to create the best special effects. It's also about things like grit. It's about determination, resilience. Because all of those character traits, the ability to overcome adversity, all of that are some of the traits and skills that have made the folks on this stage successful in life. And that's what I want you guys to understand. You know, talent comes and goes, but it's your ability to dig deep when things are hard and make things happen for yourself. That's the difference between just an average life and success. And there are many examples up on this stage. You all know that Ryan is one of the fastest rising directors in Hollywood, and if you don't know that, you'll find out more. But what you might not know is that just a few years ago, he was growing up amid violence and drugs in a city torn apart by poverty and crime. And he says that if it weren't for the discipline and drive that his parents instilled in him, and I can say the same, if he hadn't made the right choices and worked hard every single day, and I can say the same thing, he might have ended up as a statistic, just like many of the kids he grew up with. Now, meanwhile, for Harvey, it was a poke in the eye, and I mean literally a poke in the eye that may have led to him becoming one of the biggest producers in Hollywood that we have ever seen. When Harvey was 10 years old, he lost an eye when he was playing around with some other kids. So he couldn't go to school for 6 months. But Harvey didn't just sit around feeling sorry for himself. He knocked on the door of a retired librarian who lived next door to him and asked for books. Now, for those of you who know Harvey, can you imagine a 10-year-old Harvey in a conversation with a librarian? But from that moment on, Harvey developed a love of reading and a knack for finding good stories, a skill he has used every day for decades. And then there's my dear, dear friend Whoopi, who has overcome all kinds of adversity. She was raised like the president by a single mother. She grew up in housing projects in Manhattan. She was growing up, when she was growing up, she was dyslexic. She had trouble reading. As a result, there were people again and again who would call her dumb. They would call her slow. By the time she was in her early 20s, she had a baby daughter. She had battled drug addiction. She had gone through a divorce. But let me tell you, Whoopi never let any of that stop her from pursuing her passions for comedy and acting. She took all kinds of jobs. Good grief. Bricklayer, dishwasher, beautician in a mortuary. All of that, just to support herself and her family as she performed with comedy groups and developed her stand-up routine. And after years and years of scraping by, she got her break and landed a role in a wonderful movie called The Color Purple. You've heard of that? And from there, she's gone on to build a legendary career, and in 1990, she became the second African-American woman to win an acting award at the Academy Awards. And yes. And those are just 3 stories. Gail, Naomi, Blake, David, and Bruce. I didn't see you up here. Bruce is here too. They're going to share their own stories, and I hope that you all will listen and ask them questions, find out what their paths to success were. That's why we're here. See, because when you do that, when you ask successful people what they've done, when you learn more about these men and women here today, you discover that they've all overcome some kind of challenges in their lives. They've all struggled, they've all sacrificed, and they've worked as hard as possible to get where they are today. And why we have you here is because I want you to know, we want you to know that the same thing is true for you. The same thing is true for you. We are you. We are not that far from where you are. We grew up just like you all did. Because no matter what kind of neighborhood you come from, no matter what obstacles you are facing in your path right now, I don't care what's happening to you today, you can always find something that you're passionate about. You can always find something worth working for in your life. And once you find that passion, whether it's film, maybe it's science or business, maybe it's teaching, anything, you have got to get your education. It's a bottom line. As I tell my kids, you have one job: get an education. It is the most important thing that you can do for yourselves right now, because that's how you'll prepare yourself for success. You have to be ready. And this is the foundation that you have to have with you when those opportunities come. And that's how you're going to learn the skills that you need to achieve and to keep dreaming big. And getting your education means